Hello everybody, Thorgal here, and welcome back to another episode of Unabridged here on the Primus server. You guys gave me some really good input last time about how to improve the our little mana production over here with these munch dews. I want to make sure that I'm saying them right today, because apparently last episode I called them munchkins sometimes, and you guys noticed. I never even noticed, even when I was doing the editing. And the problem is that I agree with you guys. There's lots of ways to place these leaf blocks faster. But as you can see here, this is not our bottleneck. The bottleneck is that we don't get enough leaves. But that also has to do with that I cannot use a sprinkler. Okay, I did set it up. You guys remember with the robots, and I had to remove it. And I think I did forget to mention it last time. That there's a problem with the sprinkler right now, and that has to do with blue power. Let me show you guys. Ooh, where's blue power? All right, here we are. And that is this flower right here. This one, the indigo flower. There's a problem that when you have a sprinkler going, it replaces saplings with these indigo flowers. So when you have a sprinkler going here, after about 15 to 20 minutes, all these saplings here were replaced by indigo flowers. And then my whole tree farm stops. So earlier, actually, when I logged on and I placed, I did have some leftover leaves, but I placed 3 more of these mana pools just so I get a little reserve going, right? I actually bone mealed over here for a while to get this production going. And if we are going to have a higher demand for mana, then it's possible that I'm gonna add the Mind Factory Reloaded sewage and I think the fertilizer, so that actually, the fertilizer that fertilizes all these trees over here. Something like that, or hopefully Bolt is watching this and can figure out if there's a way in the config or something to change it so these indigo flowers don't replace saplings. And I actually did multiple tests on this, so that's not just that it happens when the sapling is gone, and then it happened to plant the indigo flower. You can have everything off, and I plant 8 saplings here, like they are now, and don't do anything, and after a while, most of them are replaced with this indigo flower, without being harvested before. I watched it, so, and it only happens with the sprinkler, from what I can tell. So, our bottleneck over here is actual leaves, but like I mentioned last episode, I don't want to do too much with Botania this time around. Every single series that we've been doing for the last almost year, we've been doing Botania, deep Botania. So for now, if there's ever anything that I want from Botania, then we can make it. We got mana, we got a nice little setup, we can boost it if we need to. But for now, I'm just going to leave it be, because all I'm going to use it for is to fill my band of mana so I can use my Ring of Magnetization and the Ring of Data and stuff like that. And that's it. So, good tip. Thank you for the tips. But we don't need it faster. And for today, I put these 2 sound mufflers here because I was preparing this area and then constantly heard the leaves going over here. And of course, I'm going to hide these or something and make it look nicer. But today, what I want to get started with is bees. I did say from the beginning that I want our or I should say our resource production or our resource income, whatever you want to call it, to come from bees. Because we have never really done bees on my channel to the point where you get, all the resources possible. And I want to do it here, especially because, of course we have forestry, that's where it comes from. And we have genetics and gendestry. I think we have genetics. I'm pretty sure we do. Double check. Genetics and gendestry. So we got both. I don't know if I'm going to use only one way. I don't know. Maybe we'll look into both. We'll see. I know the gendestry way. I have not done much with genetics before. So it would be interesting to learn it maybe that way. I believe it's a little harder than with gendestry. Gendestry makes bees very simple and straightforward. So anyways, what I did here is I got all our queens and princesses that I've collected since I started here, and you guys can see we got a nice little amount already here. Of course, all of them are not researched, and if you wonder where some of these queens come from, they're from villages, where I also got these 10 apiaries. you know, from exploring in our dimension and in the overworld. You know, you collect a lot of bees, and of course the rocky ones are from mining, and the ender princesses we got from the end. I believe Oblivion princess might also be from the end. Then we got the infernal and the embittered. I think those are from the nether. I know these are, but these might be. I'm not 100% sure. And we got tons of stuff, right? Also a modest and an attuned. Now that, for example, would be something we could do with Botania, because there is the hive, this guy right here, Hivesynth. I think that's the one that makes you bees out of thin air. And then there is another one where you can take mundane bees. I think that's not mundane. Sorry, what are they called? The ignoble bees, and turn them into pristine ones. In case you don't know what the difference is between those two, the ignoble will eventually die out in an apiary. In a bee house, they will never die out. And you cannot use them, you know, for mutations and so on. What was I looking for? Botania, yes. Here we are. What's the other one called here? There it is, the hibiscus. I think that, yeah, no, that's the one that turns bees into mana. Oh no, it's the begonia. I think that's the one that turns into mana. This one makes you just random bees, and this one turns it into pristines with a lot of mana cost, of course. So that would be something we could use Botania for. We did that in Agrarian Skies too, and it worked out really good. And once we figured out how it works, it took me a while. Anyway, so what we need to do is... Oh, I forgot to tell you, these is all the drones that we've collected. Actually, very little. And here is some combs and also the frames that I've collected. Now, these frames right here, let me show you guys. Let's just put them down for now. This is temporary, guys, okay? I'm not going to leave it like this, but I just want to get started and kind of figure out, you know, what is the way we're going to go. And I'm just going to put 5 down right now to see. And then, you know, we're going to figure out how we're going to redo this area, and we're going to, you know, not stick with apiaries for a while, and not for a long time, I should say, because we're going to switch to the industrial apiaries and so on. But you guys see here, there's these 3 slots. Okay, you put a princess and a drone in here, and that makes a queen, and then the production cycle starts over here. Okay, once that is up, the queen dies, and then you get another princess and multiple drones. And then you can take those again and keep going. So it's an endless cycle, pretty much, with pristine princesses. You have ignobles. Once that queen dies, after a certain amount of cycles, I think it's random, you will not get another princess. So they will actually die out. But these spots right here, you can put these frames. And there are 3 different tiers. Those are the basic frames. The untreated frame, the impregnated frame, and the proven frame. I think the proven one you cannot make. You can only trade them with villagers. The impregnated one is made with impregnated sticks, which you need the carpenter for, and seed oil. And the untreated is just sticks and string. So these we could mass produce right now. They each increase the production of the bees, because while they're in here and doing their thing, you're going to get honeycombs. That's the production. They all increase the production by 2 times. So double the production. The difference between the 3 is that this has an 80 durability, this has 240, and this one has 720. Okay? And later on, with the industrial apiary, we don't need these anymore. There's other upgrades, so we are going to use them up right now, and I figured we're going to start with these. So I'm going to just put them in here, 3 in this one, you know, just to use them up. I mean, there's no use of holding on to them, and we get twice the honeycombs, because that is what I am after. We need to start our honeycomb production, and I want to show you guys why. There's 3 machines you're going to need in the beginning. The most important one is the carpenter. The carpenter, you either put seed oil or water in here to make different parts that you need for forestry. For example, let me see if I can find this real quick. Probably not. I'm just going to have to Realizer, that's the one thing we want to go for first. So the carpenter you see with water, and we need some of this stuff here. We'll make one of those in just a minute. We don't need it right now. It's not important yet. And there's other things. For example, with seed oil and wood logs, then you make impregnated wood, and which then turn into impregnated sticks, and those are needed for other forestry recipes. The squeezer, you put in seeds, okay, and it squeezes those and makes seed oil. And for now, because I'm not setting up any kind of, fluid transport, I made these guys right here, these cans, okay? And you can put them in here, and then when you have a bucket, it will take the can and fill it, and they're one-time use. Once you use it, the can disappears. I believe that's how it is, how I remember it. Don't need it just yet. And then the centrifuge here is what we need now. And that is only for this. You put in honeycombs, and then we're going to get products. And that is what I'm looking for right here, honey drops. The beeswax, I don't actually know how much usage they have. You can make torches, wax casts, and the seal upgrade. That one we might need a couple times. And wax capsules. Oh, pipe sealant. Interesting. Okay. So there is not, that many uses for it. There is some, but it's not that important. What we're out for is the honey drops, and those you also get less. And that is what we need as the fuel for the beealyzer. Every time you analyze a bee, you're going to need one of these. So I want to make a lot of these. And I also need a lot more drones. Because right now, all I have is 7 meadows and 5 forests. Because they are going to be, later on, we're going to break drones down, or princesses, depending on what we want, to get their DNA, to make us custom bees, and so on. Now, and I don't want to confuse you guys with that. So what I want to get started is get honeycombs without making, a fancy setup or anything. And that is what we're going to start with now. So these are all pristine. A little jump into the future. It is actually the next day. When I was editing the video, I spent way too much time in setting these up on camera because they are so easy that I did not want to spend almost 10 minutes on showing you guys. Now, the way you automate these apiaries, and they've been running overnight. I was AFK a lot, and I also had this chunk loaded. So the way you do this is, you put a princess and a drone in here. It makes a queen. It does its thing. After the cycle, it dies. You get a new princess and a few drones. And the entire time, you get honeycombs. So what I do here is simply extract with Ender.io, no redstone signal. And then I have 2 inserts. This one is set to priority 1. And the one on the chest to priority 0. So the bees it pulls out, it will always try to stick back in here first. Okay, so it keeps going. It's automated. And everything excess, it puts in here. So overnight, we had gotten 42 honeycombs and 49 extra forest drones. And there's 63 more in here. There were 64, but it takes 1 to make this queen. Okay, we're also going to need a lot of these eventually to break them up and so on. And I have 2 of these, and I also have a meadows over here. And these seem to be very bad workers because we only have 55 of those, no extra, come on, and very little honeycombs. And over here, something went wrong. I noticed that yesterday when I started, it's right here. I got all these out of that. I got a Valiant Queen and Common Queens. Then I actually stopped it and put a new Meadows Princess in there. And I still got all these other ones here. Now, that tells me that Meadows Queen that I put in there was not a purebred. But now, it is purebred. Because you can tell here, now we have all 43 of these same drones. So this one ended up, pure breeding itself by getting cycled. That's just how deep breeding works. After a while, one of the traits, takes over. And so this might have been like a Meadows Common or a Meadows Valiant or something like that, and that's why we got all these other ones. This is gonna make more sense how you get these breeds in just a second, but you guys see a ton of flowers have grown here because that's what bees do. In a large radius around it, they pollinate everything and they grow you all these different flowers, which I really dig. I like that a lot. That means, we're gonna have all these different flowers everywhere all the time, and we can harvest them. I can take them all down and just leave these few dandelions to collect them. And especially with this mega plant pack, I think it's quite nice. And I totally forgot that we can make these hanging baskets. I should start putting those onto the buildings. I really like them. So, and And you guys can tell back here, I also... Oh, and we put one more here in the river. And this one has the marshy ones. And they are not bad, very slow with the reproduction, so their fertility is probably low. We can't see it yet because we don't have the bee analyzer, but we got at least 40 of these combs, which is not bad. So, I made a lot of room back here. And of course, you know, I'm gonna make this nicer here with the transition, so I got some landscaping to do and so on. But this entire area, and I might even, you know, level this out a little bit more, especially over here. I want this to be an enormous park. Reason for that is I always liked free breeding also, while you're doing bees. And I have the beginnings here. I did not do anything else yet because I wanted to show you. And before we do that, I just wanted to give you another quick heads up. Why are we doing all this? And it's these combs. There's tons of them, as you can see. For example, the oily comb. Now, the usage for this is when you centrifuge it, you get this oily propolis. And then when we squeeze that, we're getting oil. 500 milliliters, half a bucket from one of these. So that's what it's going to be for our power. And then, you know, you got all these other ones. Okay, let's see what this one does. The damp one, we get watery. Okay, that's pretty useless. We get water from that. That's kind of cute. But here, diamond, for example. We get these diamond fragments. And when you use these, 9 of them, you get a diamond. Then, for example, let's see here. Where is the... I'm looking for the... Here, there's silver, tin, copper, gold, iron. What is the energetic one? Oh, gives us redstone. Then this one, I think here, sapphire. Where's the lapis one? Are you the lapis one? Oh, that's the watery. Light tinted, cyanide, plutonium, yellorium. Shimmering gives us ender dust, which is really cool. The Certus one gives us nether quartz and Certus quartz dust. I haven't figured out yet. I don't think we can actually make Certus quartz crystals. We can put it back in the enrichment chamber. Awesome. So we can also make these. So just, you know, there's tons of stuff here that we can do with these combs. We should be fully self-sufficient. Now there's one that I am not sure why it is in here. And that is the radioactive one. Because it doesn't give us anything but wax and honey drop. So I'm not sure if this is, you know, like from IC2 that you would get the is it uranium? I think it is. So I want to have bees for every single one, even though they might not go into production. I think it's going to be cool. You know, even milk. It's not too bad to have it. Just in case you ever need milk, you can use these in the squeezer. Anyways. And the other thing is, look at the amount of sapling without the S that we can get from tree breeding. Now, I already have a ton of saplings from other mods. For example, you know, the red spruce. Then here, these are ancient trees, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is ancient trees, ancient trees, ancient trees, and so on. But these are not bred. They're just, you can find them in dungeon chests or out in the world, you know, like the cherry stuff. But we also have these guys right here. Now, these you cannot make. I think the apple oak you can get if you use a forestry multi-block farm, the multi-farm. And if you plant regular oak, it will actually turn them into apple oak because you then get a ton extra apples. But these I found in a dungeon chest. Now, this one here, I'm not sure why it doesn't stack. So this might have been mutated already for some reason. But those are these two right here. This is the apple oak. It's, you see, you gotta read the ending of the Wayla. It says apple oak leaves. And this one is the silver birch. You used to be able to breed those, but apparently not anymore. You can only find them in dungeon chests, apparently. So when you do recipe on them, all you get is this here. And I did find them in dungeon chests, you know, from the roguelike dungeons and so on. And when we put these next to each other, we have a chance of getting the first mutation right here, a silver line sapling. And by the way, you can do recipe on all of these guys And it always tells you how you get something. So silver birch plus an apple oak pollen. That just means you can also take these two saplings and right. And this is the tree breeding. It shows it to you right here. So that is what we're gonna do here. And in order to also get the information on that, you need to make these spectacles and put them on. It's just a copper or bronze and 2 glass panes. It's bronze and 2 glass panes. Now what this shows us, check it out. You see a special color leaf here. And that tells you this one is mutated. And then you need to make a grafter. I actually found these in villages. But you can also make them with a bronze and 2 sticks. And there's also, I think, let's see here real quick. Yeah, there's also a flux version, which I'm either going to make that one or I'm going to make the mana steel one. I might make the mana steel one. So because their durability goes down quite fast when you check it out. I'm going to break this leaf block now. And got a silver lime sapling. So now I can take this one and, you know, continue breeding the next tree up. So let's see, for example, what can we get from this? Usage. Here we go. So silver lime sapling plus red spruce makes us a common ash, or a wenge in a silver lime pile makes us a ginkgo, and so on. But now, of course, we kind of want to find something that we already have that we can combine with this guy. Hill cherry, that's all for silver birch. That's this birch right here, and that makes us a hill cherry. So now I'm gonna leave this going because I always like to have, you know, a few extra of these. Silver lime and apple oak makes us also the hill cherry. So this is the next one we're gonna go for, right? Because a lot of these trees also have an incredible amount of goodies, especially the nut trees, the walnut and what's the other nut called? Walnut, yeah, the chestnut. And when you use those in a MFR, and not MFR, in a forestry multi-farm, they will give you a ton of butternut, for example. And this one is very high efficient in the squeezer. Give you tons of seed oil. Right now, I've been getting my seed oil. I actually just started it. I planted some pumpkins over there. The 10-10-10s we have, just to start some seed oil because I know we'll need it very soon. And I still have 2 stacks here. I've just been using the watering can. With the 10-10-10 seeds, you get those super fast. But I still want to do tree breeding, which is this Park 4 over here. So, for example, I should be able to use this one. And if we lose it, I'm sure we get another one. I want to figure out a very nice arrangement here, you know, with a walkthrough, almost like a botanical garden kind of thing, okay? And I want to plant one of every single sapling that we have. And not just the forestry breeding ones, but also the ancient trees and the witchery ones. And even, I'm not going to plant the magical... I don't think I'm going to plant the silverwood. Because I don't want this to turn into a magical forest biome. I want this to stay plains. Anyways, so that is what I've done overnight. We got tons of bees ready now, and the the combs. So for example, what I'm gonna do right now is to get more honey drops right there. I'm just putting this in, and I'm gonna prepare all this, and then we're actually gonna breed our first bees. Now it's time that we are making the 2 analyzers. One is the bee analyzer and the other one is the tree analyzer. You guys see here, I got another sapling from the mutated leaves, and it's a common beech sapling, which I actually did not know that we're getting from this, but it shows it here. So I got 2 different saplings from here, and we're going to use them in a second to see if we can get extra ones. Now this right here is the bee analyzer, right there, tree analyzer, sorry. And I already put in 4 buckets of water. You just need to right-click the carpenter with water, with buckets of water, to fill it. Or you can also drop them in here, of course, to fill it. So that should be done in a second. And then we make the bee analyzer. And I guess while we wait for this, I wanted to try out if we can get extra saplings here. Just to see. Because when it comes to looks, it doesn't really matter if these trees are, you know, purebred or not. So, really? There we go. That's just what I think. It's a good looking tree, isn't it? This one looks really funky, this beechwood. Look at that. That looks like a pink sand. Huh. Now let's get... Where's my lumber axe? Right there. I actually wanted to try first. You guys see I made the mana steel grafter so I can use this more often. What if we break that? Check it out. You get one for every single leaf you break now. And that is how we can, you know, multiply these. So if we need them for other things to grow. And I also have some extra. And of course they all have the same stats. And that is why they are stacking. But that should be enough. So let's take down the rest with this. I'm glad I did the grafter because we didn't get any extra. And now let's do this guy here. Sometimes I'm not sure why we don't see the saplings. It's actually there and it's gonna grow as a tree. There we go. That's a good looking tree. I like it. It's gonna look very nice as a decoration around here. I think it's nice, straight. So let's get a few more of these leaves. Or the saplings, I should say. Whoa. Little spec. I'm trying to get this recording in here real quick because we have our scheduled server restart in about 12 minutes from now. So I got 24. That is plenty. And get this wood. And of course... Wait, what? Why did I only get one piece of wood? It doesn't make any sense, does it, guys? But check it out. You know, you get different color planks. Well, this one almost looks like oak and stuff. But anyway, I don't want to waste any time on that. I'm going to do a lot of tree breeding and bee breeding here the next few days because I really like it. And, well, I want to get going on, you know, getting materials. I'm really tired of not having any gold. So here's our treealizer. And now we can simply replace this with the tin. And that's going to make our beealizer. And now we can use this guy here first. So that's the interface. And you guys see, this one also needs honey drops. So let's get 64 of this and 64 for the other one. And put that in here. And now we can analyze these. I actually wanted to see... Oh, by the way, check it out. I did redo our storage a little bit. I was tired of these chests. And this one is just going to be much easier to move around. And especially for things like, you know, I can do a search and it only shows me the comment, for example, and so on. So I don't know why I didn't think of this before. And here's all the other gobbledygook, also the trees and so on. So of course of these two, I don't have any other one, but we can also analyze these here real quick, just so we have everything analyzed. If I don't analyze something, I usually dump it. Just so you guys know, let's start with this one here. Okay, this is apple oak. That's a pure apple oak. Saplings average, matures faster, girth 1 by 1, yield. See, very little apples you're gonna get from this, so you can, you know, you can crossbreed that with another one that is, you know, has yield very high or something like that. Fireproof, no. And let's see if there's anything in the seconds. Soil planes, temperature planes, supports homes. I don't know what that means. Is there anything here? Possible produces apples. Possible mutations. Okay. Now let's put this one here. You guys see, this is a breed already between a silver birch and an apple oak. So this one is not good. I'm going to destroy this one. And this one is the same. Let's just see what they have different here. Earth. There's something here. Supports nothing because it's from the other, from the silver birch right there. Let's check this one out. This is also a pure one. So I definitely want to keep these. And I might even get more eventually by the grafter trick. Now let's put this one in here. Ooh. Purebred. I don't even know if that is normal that you get a purebred one. But that is pretty cool. Supports prunes and nuts. Or beech nuts. Huh. Possible produces, apparently, some kind of a nut. Very interesting. I didn't know that. And let's check this guy out. So it looks like that whenever you get a mutation, you get the purebred. But that is pretty cool, actually. Do you support anything? Prunes? Citrus and pomes? Nothing. Okay, cool. So we got these. And now, of course, you know, these I'm going to use to breed the next ones and so on. But I don't want to spend any more time on this today. So these I'm going to keep. These two I'm going to destroy. They're going to go bye-bye. Let me sleep real quick because the bees only work when it's sunny and not raining here. Because we don't have any upgrades or, you know, certain traits and so on of that yet. So, but we are going to get into that, of course. So now... Where is it? Wrong one, right here. Now we got our beerlizer. That is the really big one. Clear this out. And again, this one takes honey drops. Okay, so now I want to... let's take a look at these comments that I got, because that is actually what I would breed next. And that you get from... Let me show you guys. Any mundanes. So, whoops. Yeah, here. Your Forest Princess and the Meadows Drone will make you a common if you breed it in these. Or a Forest and a Modest. You see it. There's all these are all mundanes. Mundane bees are the ones that you can find in the beehives everywhere around the land. Okay, those are considered mundane. Those are the basic ones you can find. Everything else is bred. So, but let's analyze these two here real quick to see what we got. See, this is a common Meadows, like I told you guys, that this is probably what happened when I put that one in there, that this is actually not a purebred. Now, I could breed this one with chocolate frames in one of these regular apiaries, and that will try to get rid of the Meadows one, so to actually make it a common. Let's see what this one is. This one is a common forest. So these two aren't bad, but I don't like using those because... well, it's going to make it hard for figuring out what you can actually get from them, right? Let's put these back in here, and we're going to try something else. So let's get a... do I still have a pristine? There's a pristine forest. And let's get... oh boy, let's get these drones out. It doesn't really matter what drone... well, we'll analyze them anyway here real quick. So this one is a forest. This is one you get out of the beehives, out all over the world, right? This one here is Meadows. Let's see here. Shorter, slowest, slower, flowers. Flowers is always gonna be. This one is shorter, slowest, slower. Ah, but this is a crossbreed. This is not a pure Meadows drone, so we definitely don't want to use that one. But this one is also garbage. And this one is a Meadows, shorter. So what's the difference between you two? Let's see if we can see it in the... okay, so it's nothing on the first page. It might be something here. Normal 0, 0, normal, yes, 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 no. Let's see. 0, 0, yes, no, 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 no. What is the difference between you two? Flowers 2 times 9, 6, 9. Ah, here. This is actually a crossbred. This is a Meadows, but you see here that it has a 3 times, and while this one is a real pure one. So I'm gonna use one of these just so I have the pure ones. Now these two, this one I'm gonna get rid of, the other two I'm gonna keep for now. That's fine. So now what we can do is, I made 2 new machines. One you need first off, it's the mutagen producer. And I think I'm gonna put that here, and then we go towards the left. And here I made an advanced mutatron, which is made with a regular mutatron. And there is no reason to actually have the mutatron if you can make the advanced one, and I'll show you in 1 second why. Okay, so first of all, we need to... oh, this is the power. Whoa, that scared me. We need to make mutagen, okay? And... the only way to make it in this mod pack is with yellorium. It's usually glowstone or redstone blocks. Or, yeah, I guess blocks. But in this mod pack it's yellorium, which is fine because we don't need yellorium for anything else, and we have a little bit. So I'm just gonna get 64 of this right now. Oh yeah, there's the blocks. And that should be already here. And we'll put this in here. And that actually takes a little while here until we're gonna have something. And that produces us this, I think it's called mutagen. Yeah, and this mutagen we're gonna need in here, okay? You need power and also mutagen. Not all the machines up here need that. I think actually only very few, maybe 2 or 3. Oh, I forgot to make these. What are these called here again? Let's make those real quick. Gendistry. This stuff right here, genetic labware. So I need glass pane and diamonds. Let's get that real quick. Let's get 10, 12, and diamond, I'm gonna need 4. That should be enough for now. And let's just wait for this here. And you know what? Do I have a trash can? Yes. Send me one of those too. So I'm ready. So here we go. So what was that? It was like this, right? And here? Oh, I forgot. All right, it's okay. We'll just get this for now. And I'll make more in a second. So this stuff goes in here. Now check it out. When you put 2 bees in here, now I have the option down here to choose what bee I want to make. I'm not sure why it's showing me 2 commons. I thought there's supposed to be a common and something else. Might be the bot pack, who knows. But in the regular mutatron here, you do not get this selection. So if a breed like this, you know, let's say you have 5 different possible choices, it will give you one random one with the mutatron. With the advanced one, you can pick what bee you want, okay? So I can't click on this yet because we don't have any of this stuff yet, the mutagen, which is gonna take a while, guys. So I'm gonna just wait this out, and the restart is gonna happen here very soon. And then when I'm back and I have some of this stuff, I'm actually hoping that this might even automatically go into this here. And if not, then I'm gonna have to see what kind of what kind of fluid transport I'm gonna put over here. But anyways, I'll BRBs. Okay, a little while later after the restart now, and we made a bunch of this stuff here already, and it does automatically flow into the advanced mutatron. And you guys see, it already made us the common queen, because I did click on this earlier, I guess, and it remembered it. So as soon as it had enough of this mutagen, it made us this common queen. Which is really cool, because now we can actually, you know, start progressing with the bees, which is going to be huge. And this is common. This is an absolute pure one. Okay, it did take some of the stats from the other 2, of course, but it is a purebred one. And you guys see here, I want to take a little step further now. I made 5 industrial apiaries, 5 automation upgrades, 5 light upgrades, and 5 seal upgrades. Because that way, I can leave this running overnight and make a ton of bees, or, you know, whenever I'm AFK and I don't need to worry about, you know, oh god, nobody's sleeping, or it might be raining, and so on. Also cleaned up all the flowers and just left a few dandelions and already continued. And I also analyzed all the bees we had. I took down all the apiaries, analyzed everything, and these right here are all hybrids or ignoble ones. So I'm going to keep these because later on we can strip some of the traits off them. But that's going to be next episode. Today, what I want to do is set up a little bit of automation here to make us more stuff, because these guys are also much faster than the regular apiaries, okay? So, don't forget, all this is temporary, guys, all right? It's a mess with the cables or with the wires and so on, but I just want to get a jump start on this while I figure out what I want to build here. I also replanted 1 apple oak, the silver lime, the silver birch, and the common beech. I think that's what it's called. Because these 2 are going to mutate into something, and these 2 are going to make us mutations. So once the bees are gone, we should have something happening here. So, you know, I'm going to continue with this also. So what are these upgrades for? You can put up to 4 upgrades in here. Right now, it shows us it needs 20 RF a tick. They run on power, of course. It doesn't have a queen, which is fine. I have it here with me. And the automation upgrade, we'll put 1 of those in here. What that does is the same as the pipes and the chest we had before. So once this cycle is over, everything is over here. It's going to put the princess and a drone back here. And this is like the chest that we had for all the stuff that we were collecting, okay? The light upgrade, you put it in here. Actually, hold on a second. Now this automation upgrade brings it up to 22 RF a tick. The light upgrade brings it up to 23.1, so very minuscule. It's very little, okay? What this means, they're going to keep working at night, okay? It's just like in the aviaries when you have the light upgrade. And, of course, I'm also going to add a seal upgrade, so they're going to keep working when it's raining. So these guys will never stop working. At night, during the rain, and so on, and the energy goes up to 24.3, so that's nothing. It's really very little. So let's put this guy in here. Now you guys notice there is no room for frames, because Let me bring it up again. Gendestry. We can add other things later on if we want to. For example, we want to have some of these with for the real production once we have that perfect gold bee, for example, okay? Where is it? I'm gonna find it, just a second. Heater sieve production upgrade, right there. Production plus 20%, and you can add up to plus 8 of them. Okay, they stack. So these guys will, make us so much stuff once we're there. But it's gonna take a while. So I decided to do the common over here because I want to breed this. I want to get a bunch of common drones to later on strip the common off, and then I can make new princesses. And that is where all these Rockies are gonna come into play. These are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna use to inject them with something else, because the Rocky ones are by default diurnal and nocturnal and a tolerant flyer. What that means, they can work indoors, during the rain, at night. They don't care. I think the rain... Yeah, I think I'm right with that. And if not, then of course we can give them many other traits. So now, this one I'm just making so I get many of the drones, so I can strip that down. And I also want to do more, for... we need more combs. By the way, I'm always going to keep at least one comb. I want to make sure that whatever we're making, I always keep at least one. So for example, right here, where's the one that we made with the... Wait a second. Cocoa, honey, parched, curious. It must have been the mossy that we got from what is their name again from these guys here? The Marshy Queen, yes. So I think I'm going to keep going with the same that I did before. I'm going to take 2 generations in captivity, 65 generations. I had no idea this keeps track of that. That's very interesting. Shorter, slowest, shorter. What? This is a tolerant flyer by default. Alright, I'm going to go back with this guy. These commons here, these 2. Why did I leave them in here? They're hybrids. They're not supposed to be in here. Get out of here. Which other ones? The Attuned Princess. I want to see if we maybe can get this guy to work. We'll see. Maybe the biome, I'm not sure. Normal, none, normal, none. So it should work here. So we can breed more of these. We don't have any cultivated princess. That's going to be after the common. We got the modest. That is hot and arid. So these we need we could make this upgrade here, the desert emulation upgrade. So we could start breeding this, but it can wait. So we got 2. Let's get a meadows. And let's see. This was the slow one, and this guy too. I think I'm just gonna start a new set. Why not? Fast worker, slowest worker. I'm gonna take this fast worker and breed that with this slowest worker. Slowest. Alright, so these 2. So we got 3 sets. We need 1 more. We are going to use... What are you? Oblivion, obviously. Cold and normal. Cold with up to. Let's try it. Let's try this one first. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. But why not? Let's see. It might complain about the food. It's the end one. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, right here. No flour. I don't know what it needs to eat. Let's see if I can get an end stone here. Because that might be all that it takes. We put this guy in here. These 2. And these 2. I just want to set this up. So when I'm editing the video now. And then, go AFK and so on. That we have something happening. And we got lots to do when we get to the next episode. So is this end stone here yet? Wait. Okay, let's just place this right here. And see if that is all it needs. So I'm not sure what they need. End. Does the Bealyzer tell me? That should be under... No, 3? No. Effect, flower type, end. I don't know what that means. It's possible that it only works in the end. But it says no flower. So I just checked on the interwebs, and the Oblivion bee needs a dragon egg as an actual food source. Now, we don't have the dragon egg. I don't know who has it, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, we can make it once we get the draconic bees. Let's see here real quick, which is going to be an Imperial and an Abandoned, and so on. You guys get the idea. We should be able to get this within the next few episodes. So for now, I set up a Rocky Queen, just to give us more Rocky drones. Not sure if we're gonna need them or not, but I just wanted to get something going. So we got the common going. Check this out. We already have 9 honeycombs. It's been not even 10 minutes yet, guys. Here we got 3 of the forest, 2 of the attuned, and 2 of the meadows already. And their cycle should have been done. We have not got any extra. Oh, this is an ignoble. Oh, guys. Sorry about that. Do I have any non-ignoble? This is... Wait a second. Which one is this? The attuned queen. You guys gonna have to come out. Because I don't want to lose this one. I forgot now. If we can make an attuned... Or is that one that is only found in a dungeon chest? Let's see. Yeah, those are the ones that are found in dungeon chests. So I actually want to keep this one, guys. It's an ignoble, but I might be able to use the Botania flower to make it a pristine one. I think we're going to do that, guys. So I'm going to put this guy up here so I don't forget. And I am going to make these flowers for the next episode. So we can start making some of these. I also have, you know, here, these Infernal Princesses. I don't think I have. Yeah. No, these are embittered. I also want to make these Infernals, if possible, pristine. You know what I mean? So we don't need to look for more, or I don't think they're breedable. Let's check. I'm pretty sure they're not. Yeah, just dungeon chests or in hives. In the nether. So I would like to change those over too. Gee, let me take one of them out so I don't forget this one either. Alright, you guys get the idea? I think I'm gonna, in that one empty one right now. Oblivion we cannot do. We cannot do the marshy because it's not in the river biome. I just want combs right now. The Ender Princess also says end, so I'm guessing this one also needs a dragon egg. Okay, so right now I don't have anything else, so we're just gonna take another one of these forest queens and put that in here, just so we get more combs. As many of those as we can get, because I'm gonna need so many honey drops throughout this entire process that it's gonna be crazy. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. Oh, look at the glasses. I didn't even see them. Those are those spectacles. It was a little slower because, well, this all just takes time, you know, to get started. But once you invest the time, you know, a day of, you know, breeding and so on, and cultivating, and then, you know, pure breeding and upgrading and so on, it is well worth it, guys. When we're done and this is set up right, we're gonna have all the resources in the world, almost on demand. It's gonna get to a point where we probably need to shut off certain bees after a while because we have too much of their product. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.